paid for all of our stash. That's what we should do. We should buy unicorns and rare ones and never try them and sell them.
Well, the secondary market is really starting to crater.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to talk about this one. It'll be later, of course.
Yeah. A couple more. Let me see. Get a little smell here.
This one is really good.
It really is. It's unique.
So I remember I get a phone call from Stan from Total Wine. Hey, I need you to come on down here to Total Wine to pick something up. I was like, well, what's going on there? He's like, I've got a couple things here. I need
just
you to
hurry.
pick up. Yeah. I was like, on my way.
Yeah, that's when you that's when you send out the emergency alert. Who is closest to Total Wine?
Jeff, are you circling?
Yeah,
Yep.
Jeff. I was going to say.
Well, yes, I am.
Yeah, I'm still circling, guys. Anything? Have you heard anything?
I have to get gas here in a minute.
Well, I tell you what. So unbeknownst to me, I bought that bottle. And I bought his bottle. That's what I was going at. I bought his bottle and mine, and he never paid me for the freaking bottle.
Really?
And I was like, fuck, dude. This is Stan, dickhead. But it all worked out because he picked up the bottle of Hirsch at Sips.
Yeah, they're about the same price.
So I was like, all right, I'll take that. And he's had the bottle for, what, a month and a half now? And I'm like, God damn it, Stan. Damn it, Archer. And so anyways, he's going to be at Heather's party.
Good.
Heather, our guest that was here about 4 weeks ago, at our party where we had the wine tasting.
Good.
So her birthday's coming up. Stan's gonna bring that bottle with us and with him, and I'm gonna put it in a safe spot. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna tell him not to bring it.
You gonna keister it?
No, I'm gonna tell him not to bring it because if we're gonna be going to the Revel and stuff like that, the last thing I need to do is open that bottle up. That's
right, and then
supposed
leave
to be a
it
treasure,
and then leave it in the Uber, or leave it somewhere.
Or you guys finish it.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Challenge accepted.
Someone drugged me.
Damn it. I got roofied. Sean, we weren't even at the Revel yet. Oh, okay.
Where we at? We broke into Jeff's house and did a podcast.
the Uber driver roofied me.
Second half of the podcast, February 18th. It's Dudes Like Us. I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Jeff.
And thank you, Mr. Producer. Chuck behind the scenes.
Speaking of Uber, did you see that news story where the Uber driver or Lyft driver told this horrendously fat lady,
oh no,
you can't get in my car, you're too big? I think she's a rapper. So
she's a famous person?
She's a huge, big, fat rapper. And the guy's like, yeah, you're not getting in my car.
Oh no.
Because you won't fit. So she made a big stink about it.
She tried to sue Uber. She went on She went on a podcast.
Oh, she is huge.
500 pounds.
They were like, she tries to sit down in a chair. She's like, y'all got something else I could sit on? So they rolled over a fucking couch.
Mm.
Can you imagine her? Like, we have a love chair.
So this
Never denied me service. BC of my.
That's. I don't think that's her voice.
Well, they could mute it because it may show her. I want Paul to check her out.
She's just oversized.
She's more than oversized.
Well, if it's 500 pounds, that's oversized.
Yeah, one of her. I mean, it would take her she doesn't use toilet paper. It's like Scott towels.
And apparently, if this is the same story, he got fired. Is that what happened?
I don't think so. I don't think so. It was warranted too because she was heavy. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I think they're going to lose. In fact, I think that the legal counsel pulled out because it was due to that podcast that she got on, and they required bringing over she accepted a larger chair.
Right.
And they were like, for some reason, they were kind of like, all right, so that was okay for them to bring out an extra special chair for you. But when the driver of the Uber car says,
didn't have any options.
Yeah, I was like, dude, I mean, what do you want me to do? There's just simply, you wait. And it wasn't that she couldn't fit back there. It was just that she was too heavy.
Oh, shit.
Too heavy. She tried getting back there.
Well, then she needs to get the Black XL, Uber Black XL or whatever.
Like a minivan where you just kind of roll
Well, that or an SUV or something like that, right? A dually.
Pull up a picture of that Dank DeMoss or whatever her name was.
Is that it? That's the lady?
So I was getting ready for my cousin's watch
the
party, the
sofa.
Lions game, or
boy.
whatever.
Is she sitting in a sofa right now?
Order me a lift. You know, it's like 15
And you order
minutes.
Lyft all the time. It's never
Yes,
an issue.
I do.
Mhm.
As I'm walking to the car, he
boy.
looking funny. Doors getting unlocked. I'm just like, hell, you ain't gonna let me in your car? I'm like, for real? So I put my camera out. And it's like, why you not letting me in your car? Like, I kind of...
Because she'll break my car.
That's what he was on, because the look at me, I seen that look before, you know, so that's how that happened.
And this is the first time this has ever happened.
Pull up a picture of her. I want Paul to see it.
You were really gung ho.
Yeah, you're really into this.
Visual.
I
he's not stopping with this.
I saw her. There she is. Look at that.
No, I'm good.
It's
Oh,
seismic.
Come on.
This is
That's just silly.
This is gratuitous. I don't. This is. I mean, her dimples have dimples.
Well, how do you look
why-
at yourself? I've seen that blue one where she's sitting like in the back of a truck.
I
the
mean,
one-
And she's a rapper?
Oh, yeah, she's a rapper.
I mean, she has a butt in the front of her.
and,
Look,
and,
look,
and,
I mean,
and at the knees.
I
Yeah.
feel bad because they're. Is it a mental disorder? Is it
It's probably
genetics?
it's probably part of her shtick,
Yeah, I
right?
saw that.
Yeah, but it's not just that. It's and it's not just black people. It's a culture of people that just can sit there. I mean, look, we're big guys. We're not skinny. You know, I mean, Paul's working on it. You know,
No, I'm
You know,
I've
but-
plateaued.
but we're nowhere near that. That's obese, and then it's like they just gave up.
Well,
Right.
it's a mental, because have you ever watched that 600-pound Life
No.
where they go and see the doctor to try to get him to lose weight and then do the thumb stomach and then do the skin surgery and all that to
Right.
lose the weight? These people have mental, how they cope is eating.
Yeah,
So they
yeah.
just eat, and there's always someone that's an enabler who gives it to them because they can't get it themselves. Because they're in their bed. They can't move.
Oh, I got you.
For the most part, some of them can, but most of them, they don't go driving and get their food and shit like that. People bring it to them.
Right.
So there's usually an enabler, and these people have mental problems, so they have to get through the mental problem
Oh, yeah.
of, I'm eating to make me feel good,
Sure.
kind of a thing. But these people, I mean, some of them do it, and some of them don't. You know, they're just, it's sad. Like,
I mean,
really sad.
I mean, I would imagine it's not unlike other addictions, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
you're addicted
there's a
to
lot of
food.
destructive addictions, right? So, I mean, none of them, I mean, I shouldn't say none of them, but, you know, this one's horrible for your health, right? It's going to definitely lead to death, a premature death,
Well, there's
if
also
they can't get that under control.
yeah, well, there's also been a big push over the last 4 or 5 years of this whole body positivity thing,
Yeah.
right? Where fat is beautiful, and I'm not saying it's ugly or whatever, but it's unhealthy.
Unhealthy. That's the key.
And how dare you tell me this that I'm fat? Well, you are, and it's unhealthy, and you're not going to live very long,
Right. You're going to have health complications, no
Right.
question about it.
Right, and
it's not that they're ugly;
they're
they're just heavy.
well, you
And-
shouldn't be promoting it as
Celebrating
as
it, yeah.
this is what you should look like.
Right.
And I blame that, like on the Sports Illustrated, where they have a version of
Well, that and Vogue and all those magazines.
look, heavy people need love too. So it's
Yeah.
not that we're slamming heavy people because we fit in that genre sort of. We do, but it's just healthy life choices.
Yeah, but I think, okay, so there's a difference, right? I mean, there is, you can be heavy and still be, you can be heavier, I should say, heavier and still be healthy. But when you're getting to that degree,
Right.
there's no healthy.
5, 6, 7, or 800 pounds.
Right. And I don't know what that cutoff is. I mean, they have that chart where that, you're, oh my God, I'm in the obese.
Well,
you know what I mean? I'm in the obese.
technically, probably Sean and I are morbidly obese
Really?
because it's BMI. Because
Okay.
it looks at your height and a couple of things that basically, and I've called this out because I was on a phone call with some health coach or something like that.
Right.
That they said, well, you need to go see a health. He's like, well, you know, technically you're this. I was like, so basically, what you're telling me, I'm 6'1". I've broad shoulders. I've got muscle, and because I've got some of this stuff, you're calling me obese.
Right.
And he
All right,
goes,
all right.
yeah, the BMI is not real accurate. We try not to go by that anymore.
Sure. All right, so let's see here. If you're so I'm 6'1", and I weigh 215 pounds. So that puts me as overweight. I'll be damned.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
So I'm right now at 250. I'd be obese.
So it's saying I'm supposed to be what's the biggest green there is? 180
Yeah.
for 6'1"? No,
Yeah, no. If I was 180, I'd look like.
I'd look like skinny. I'd look like shit.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yep.
I call bullshit. I'm going for the red. What's the red? I'm going up. So what's the lowest red for 6'1"?
6'1".
300. That's my goal. Fuck it.
Good Lord. So if you're 6'1", let me see. Where's that? How's that work? Where's the size? Oh, 6'1".
Yeah, it's weight along the top.
So I'm
height along the
6'1",
side.
and like I said, 250, which puts me right there. I'm not quite in the middle.
You're orange.
I'm 30. Yeah, I'm in the
So
orange.
what weight
Well,
do
I'm
we need
orange
to be?
too.
What weight do I need to be?
Well,
No,
how
I'm
tall
not.
are
I'm
you?
yellow. I'm yellow.
How tall are you?
I'm 6 foot.
You need to be 180 pounds.
To be in the healthy range.
I've never been 180.
Right. So you're very unhealthy.
Well, you were when you were probably freshman in high school.
So you could be so you could be 220 and be in the yellow, but as soon as you hit 230, you're obese. There's the difference between overweight and obese, and then you're severely obese if you're in the red.
Yeah. I call bullshit on this.
I call bullshit.
The BMI is all it looks at is your height and your weight. It doesn't take into any other considerations. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right.
He was 6'1", 300 pounds.
Solid
muscle.
muscle. Yeah.
He'd be severely obese.
So there needs to be a chisel factor because
That's what I mean.
I'm a pretty high chisel factor.
Yeah, you're
So,
highly chiseled.
Yeah, a high chisel factor. So where's that put me?
That's what I mean. It doesn't
Yeah.
account for muscle mass. Some people have bigger bones.
Yeah.
The whole 9 yards. So it's bullshit.
And what if you have a long, heavy arms,
Yeah,
right?
you're like an elephant
And
foot.
other heavy appendages.
Or just a huge.
We don't have to talk
penis,
about it,
big,
but
huge penis. Just
Yeah,
kinda-
exactly. And that puts me into obese category.
I mean, that's 30
I'm just hung
pounds.
like an elephant, man. Fuck you.
That's 30 pounds right there, right?
At least. At least I have to get oversized crotch pants.
Unbelievable. What is
Okay,
happening?
yeah, wheels off. I
Throw 'em a
retract.
challenge
I-
flag.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, thank you.
Challenge.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, let's edit all this out.
No, that's staying. That's staying.
Okay.
I'll be sending that to you.
Yeah.
Great.
Sound
And I'll say it's
We
Sean.
need to add the little bell in the background. Ding, ding, ding. Shame. Ding, ding,
Right.
ding. Shame.
Stop. For the love of God.
No.
All right.
So
Anyway.
we have a February 18th occasion, like we had this week on Monday, was President's Day, right?
Correct.
We did. So that used to be George Washington's birthday, and they changed
Still
it
is.
to President's Day.
Well, it used to be. I remember when I was in school, it used to be called Washington's birthday.
That's what I'm saying.
They've changed it to President's Day.
Why? They wanted to extend
I don't know.
So Donald Trump put out something, or at least the White House put out something. I'm going to read it. I'll try to read.
Oh, this is what we
quick.
thought that AI created.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Yes.
Well, they put out several different things. But this one is today our nation commemorates the father of our country, the patriarch of our freedom, a timeless exemplar of valor and virtue. The first president of the United States, George Washington. On Washington's birthday, we honor this heroic legacy and steadfast love of country. As our nation's first chief executive, President Washington was a key architect of federal government and constitutional order. As a visionary of a fierce advocate for an American first foreign policy and a man of devout faith. To this day, he lives on our souls in the origin of American patriot, the face of the American Revolution, and a legendary titan of American liberty. I'm not going to read this whole thing.
I think
Yeah.
they should have said, do this in the style of Penthouse letters.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched Turn, Washington Spies?
Hold on, stop, hold on. So I want to apologize. So at the very end here, President Washington's unflinching devotion to the common good, he continues to give him props. Now, therefore, I, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Constitution and the laws of the United States, do hereby proclaim February 17th, 2025 as a reserved holiday commemorating George Washington's birthday. So
he put it back on the clock.
I think he put it back on there.
I didn't hear anything about that at all in
I
the
didn't
news.
either. I didn't either.
They just ignored it. They ignored him
Yeah.
and his executive order.
Yeah. if you're looking for a really good historical program, watch this Turn, Washington Spies. They're about 4.
Hamilton?
No. Did I say Hamilton?
No, you didn't.
No,
Oh.
you said Bridgerton.
Oh, Bridgerton.
Yeah.
No, Turn, Washington Spies. It's really, really good. It's during the Revolutionary War, obviously, right?
Hamilton, Bridgerton.
Anyway.
We're such jackasses. Just jump on whatever he's talking about, right?
Well, then I question myself. Did I say Hamilton?
You did.
Turn is the name. Turn Washington Spies. And what is this on?
AMC.
It was on AMC. It's not.
Oh.
It's done now. So they concluded it's 4 or 5 seasons. It's well done.
Okay.
It's very well done.
Turn.
Yeah.
So is it on? Can I find it somewhere?
Yeah. Well,
Probably.
A Long Island farmer bands together a group of childhood something.
Okay,
You can't read anymore.
okay, Austin.
Yeah.
Childhood friends
And
to
you were
form an unlikely
you were
group
so
of
close.
spies who turned the tide of America's fight for independence.
Yeah, you're just about to finish the punchline, and you're like, "Oh, it's gone now. It scrolled away."
Oh, that's all right.
But it's good. But Washington is in this, and the guy who plays Washington, I think I make fun of him when he talks because it's over the top.
Over top Britishy.
No, it's I don't know. That's Benedict Arnold right there.
Nice.
So
Nice-
Benedict
nice
Arnold's
walk
in this.
too. Let's see if we hear some language
Yeah. Let's here we go.
eventually.
Hello.
Hey, Mr. Shippen. Your
Nice
home
package.
is impressive.
Is that George Washington?
Thank
I
you.
want to assure you
Benedict
that this
Arnold.
your family will be safe here. I will post guards until public emotions die down, as they always do.
How might we best thank you, sir?
I want to start
I
talking like
believe
that
it is
again.
I.
You
who should thank
should.
How might we best?
I think we all should. I do declare.
Hold on, hold on. So he looks at him, it's Benedict Arnold. How
I owe
may
you
I
a
maybe
great debt.
thank you? And he's looking at his daughter.
Your letters sustained me through a dark time.
Nice
following
hair.
my injury at Saratoga. But as you
I
can
don't remember
see,
who that was.
I'm
That's
well on
some
my way
rich
to
guy in
regaining my full
Philadelphia.
vigor.
That's got hot daughters,
I hope that you
Yes.
will permit me
Several
to
of them.
and he wants the hot daughter.
Yes.
and resume our friendship.
Ooh.
Yes.
He's
I
got
would
a
be honored, sir.
Penelope.
he's
As
got
soon
a
as my
here.
family
he's got a
obligations.
Sit
puffy
on my
face.
lap.
Anyway, I recommend it if you like the history and the period type thing. It's well done.
Yeah, cool.
So the TV series was 2014 to 2017. It's available somewhere. AMC puts it out, or at least did.
AMC. I think it's on Amazon. I think we watched it on Amazon at the time. My
Well,
wife and I.
I'll look it up. I love stuff like that.
Me too. I love historical drama. What they call that? Period pieces.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, period
It's
pieces.
really good.
Very nice. Is there any nudity?
No nudity. It's good violence.
That's okay.
No butts.
No butts.
Oh, you like butts?
No,
Interesting.
no, not even no butts.
That's good. You know, sometimes it's a little over the top when you see some of that stuff. How about blood?
Dude,
Yeah, there's
nowadays,
some shootings.
it's soft porn for a lot of the shows that we're like, whoa, what the hell?
Yeah.
They're
It's
hell,
crazy.
Even on Netflix. I don't know if it's still out there, but my brother was telling me. I went to go see my brother. This was a couple of years ago, and he was like, "Oh, dude, there's soft porn on freaking Netflix." It's like, get out of here!
Absolutely. It's
And he was
crazy.
like, "No, man, look." He pulls out his phone, pulls out one movie on Netflix, and one of the first scenes you see is a penis.
right. Yeah.
And
I
I'm
remember
just
that.
like,
he pulled it up, and there was some dude getting.
Easy.
I don't know if he
Easy.
was either
choose
getting.
words
He
wisely.
may have been
Easy.
getting a hand job or a blow job.
Damn. We said easy.
What
Well,
was that called?
Easy. What do you?
Oh.
It's called a hand job.
No, the name of the movie.
Oh.
It was like
Blowjob.
that's it.
Debbie Does Dallas.
It's called
It
blowjob?
was Behind the Green Door. No,
It's a door color.
Green door.
Behind the Green Door. You never heard of that one?
Oh boy.
Oh.
So walk us
Well,
through
yeah,
this
what's it about- what's it
exposure.
about?
I've never seen it, but that was,
Oh, okay.
That's one of the big
All
ones.
right, but you know
I
it's
see how
green.
that goes.
Yes.
He
I
knows
heard.
it's green.
I heard it's bad.
I
that
heard
was
it-
down in my dad's
I heard it's
collection
green as well.
that I found.
They serve juice there.
The ones he
Keep you
had.
hydrated.
The ones he had was.
He knows
10
all the actors in it, but he's never seen it.
No, I don't know the
Yeah, there's
actors.
Joseph
Yeah,
and Monica.
yeah. And Joan and Betsy and
Oh, it's his
Sorry.
birthday today.
It was.
but I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Behind the Green Door.
There
That
it-
the beautiful woman abducted and initiated a live sex act on a private stage, participating in lesbianism. Go on. Interracial sex, really, and public orgy. Interracial sex. What does that mean? Is that like with an Asian dude?
Well, it says African stud.
Oh,
God.
So
he's reading the script. He's reading the script, and he's like, "I would like to try out for African Stud."
Oh well, Michael Wood will step on in, please.
Oh wow,
Is that his name?
Johnny Keys.
Why don't we try to move on from this topic that we strangely stumbled on?
We got a boy.
Wow.
All right, so happy birthday, George Washington.
How about a day in history?
You know what? I was driving there, but I still want to go back and talk about how profound it was. You know, I always wondered why they took George Washington Day out, because they had Abraham Lincoln. When I was a kid, I remember there was Abraham Lincoln Day, and then there was George Washington Day, and then they just disappeared.
Well, it became President's Day.
That's how they did it. There were too many holidays, maybe, and they were like, you know what? Why don't we just combine them all into President's Day on George Washington's birthday? That's probably exactly why they did it.
But I still
because
think
they were getting grief for not giving people off, like every single one of the birthdays.
Or what about this president? Or what about that president?
Right.
Well, I think they
What about
did
James
good.
Polk?
What about Hoover?
I mean, they could still have
Garfield.
Garfield, good one.
President's Day wrapped up in George Washington Day, but it's always good. He was the first one. He was the first general. He was the one, what they call him, the big red-headed dude that was just some big, tall galoot taking, wouldn't listen to anybody's.
Did he have red hair?
George Strait?
That's what I
mean,
understand. I mean, he wore the wig, but from what I understood, he was a redhead.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
We might have to fact check.
Do they
that.
have color pictures back then?
They do.
Yeah,
they do.
Or was this
no,
just
it was
hearsay?
stenciled on his wood
General
teeth.
George, hold that. The big.
You got to hold
now
it
he's
for 10
got
seconds.
PTSD.
The big. Whether he's
Yeah,
behind the thing with the little
shroud,
It's got the
little
big
cloth
over
thing
his
of-
head.
It's like gunpowder.
Boom. It fumes, blows real quick. George Washington jumps on the ground. He's got post-traumatic stress syndrome, and he's like, "Oh my God, I thought I'd get shot at."
Well, that was the Western stuff. Like they have, pictures of Billy the Kid, and
Oh yeah,
because
they shoot pictures of the dead people as well.
Yeah, I mean that's when they first started having those
there
cameras,
was some
right?
creepy shit too, man. You see these family portraits, and you got these kids that are like, there's like probably 6 kids lined up, and the one on the end's dead.
Yeah,
and you're like, what the fuck, man? What?
Yeah, they would take pictures of their deceased family members.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah,
I've never heard of this.
We got an opportunity to take a picture. I don't care if they're dead. Pull them up.
Oh yeah, they take pictures
pop
of
them up on the end
with their deceased family member, and they're just sitting there.
So they dig them up for this, or
no? It's before they get buried. They dress them up.
Pull up a picture, Mr. Producer.
Before they get buried.
Family member, family photo. I guess family photo with member dead, old.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Are you a prompt engineer?
Yeah, dude.
Right.
Old family dead. All right, black and white.
There you go. Black. There's one down right there. Well, that one I guess is one right there. That like the girl on the left she's dead.
Well, they just prop her up.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have a stick or something in her. They're like the lady's dead. There's the parents.
Oh, that is crazy.
It's kind of creepy, but it's kind of the sign of the times,
Loved ones who are already dead. Haunting Victorian family photos show loved ones who are already dead.
Yeah, that was a big thing back then.
It's all about opportunity.
Look at that. How God, 2 babies in a coffin.
It's amazing how often babies and young kids die.
It was a thing.
That's why they had such big families.
Yeah, it was a thing.
There's a family history book
That's
that
awful.
we have in our family that one of my on my mom's side, and she talks about how they had like 8 kids, and like 3 of the kids died, and one of them died horrifically because they went up to the stove and grabbed a pan that was filled with hot water and boiling water and scalded them to death.
Damn.
It's just like people die. I hear that song playing in the background, Dumb Ways to Die. There's so many ways that these kids, falling down and they didn't have medicines back then.
No. And, I mean, they just got, they got cut or they got infected. They got bacteria, viruses. I mean, they just was nothing.
COVID.
Yeah, nothing could help them. God, look at that one.
Like the whole family is dead in the thing down there.
Oh, really? Go one more down.
Do one more, right there.
Right to the right.
To the right, yeah.
Right there. So that one's, they're all laying in bed.
They're all dead.
Look, they look like the mom was beat up, punched in the face. The dad's got a hole in his head.
Oh, my gosh.
That's horrible.
They put him in a bed, the whole family. And
dressed him up. Looked like they're sleeping.
I mean, there's something to be said about them trying to capture the moment To them, it wasn't
For
morbid.
their legacy, I guess.
You know, I mean, when you go out and you don't have anything, and let's say they leave a piece of property, or they leave some horses, some chickens. It's like, all right, well, look, all of this is gonna be donated to the system. At the least we can do is capture the history of what they are.
Yeah.
We're gonna capitalize off of their deaths,
Well, at least they didn't do what the pharaohs did, which is like
bury them in their tomb alive.
everybody died. Like all the slaves, they killed all the slaves, all the animals. The entire circle that of the pharaoh had went with them, including the ship. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And they just buried everything.
So did they kill them, or
Yes.
did they just die in there?
Oh, I think they killed them because they had to embalm them.
Did they pull their brains out of their nose?
Yeah, they embalmed them. Correct. That was like the Egyptian burial.
That's called mummification.
Right.
That's so crazy. I wonder how they killed them. How they euthanized them.
Probably that cow thing.
Yeah, cow prod. Piston to the forehead.
I don't,
God,
I don't know. Do they make a noise?
I
the cows?
would. Shit, man.
I don't know.
Oh, you would make a noise. You'd be like, "Oh fuck, fuck, dude." Oh,
I wouldn't let them do it. I'd run if I knew what was coming. I'm like, fuck it, they're gonna kill me anyway. I'm gonna try to get out of here. You know? Shit. We'll kill you if you run.
So
We'll kill me if I stay.
But I don't think it was that way. I think if you served the pharaoh and the pharaoh is going to the afterlife, it was a tremendous honor to go with him. It wasn't like they were chasing them down and killing them.
I'd like to ask them.
They all lined up, and they're like, "Yes, we can't wait to go with our pharaoh."
Was that true, or that was what's expected?
I don't think that's true
think
at
both.
all.
I think
think
both.
they were like, yeah, hey, Jamal Havi, I'm not gonna fucking go. I'm gonna take my camel. I'm heading over to Frosi, and I'm gonna go eat a Egyptian pie.
And he's like, "Bro, you got no choice."
No. My mom's calling me. I got to go.
No, I mean, think about it. Everything was centered around the afterlife, right? How glorious the afterlife is.
Whatever. That's so.
So
stupid.
I think they were honored to do it. I mean, if you were chosen, I'm sure other people were like, "Oh, I wish I was going."
It's crazy because I just wish we knew
I doubt
more about
I
that
don't.
era. There's just so much we don't know, and do we really want to scratch the surface? There's so much we don't know.
So many skulls. So many
Crystal skulls. Regardless. I mean, were they the actual people that built them, or were they just occupiers?
Well, have you heard of the lost land up in the Arctic that the Russians say they've come from? Hyperborea.
No.
Have you heard of that?
Do share.
Well, supposedly it's
Sounds like a drink.
Hyperborea. It's an actual thing.
Is that the name of our bourbon?
Hyperborea. Yeah. It's a land in the Arctic Circle.
Greek mythology.
Yeah, that is apparently really big in the Russian belief system.
Like mythology,
That-
lore.
Yeah, that the reason I know about it is I'm reading a book right now, and I think you should read it as well, Sean. It's that Sigma Force shit that I think you'd get into. But they just discovered it, and there's pyramids and houses and all kinds of shit.
They literally did find it.
Well, in the book. No.
Okay.
So whether they found it in real life or not, I don't believe so. But it's one of these mythical things. But they also talk about the difficulties of traveling up there, and it's one of the least explored areas on the Earth.
It's pretty inhospitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very difficult to do. Plus the magnetic issues you have up there cause a lot of problems with radars.
Yeah, there's
and shit.
there's some areas where in Russia, perhaps in that region, where you get lethargic and dizzy walking in the area due to whatever. I don't even know, some ether that fucks with your equilibrium.
Some alien ray.
No, I don't think it's anything like that. Who knows what it is? It could be a magnet. It could be anything. I mean, we don't know anything. We're just fucking idiots.
Could be durian.
I don't know what it is, but the fact is that there are people that walk through this area and they become lethargic. They throw up. It's that region. It could be radioactivity. Who knows?
I think some of it may be magnetism as well, because that's a big part of what they're discussing in this book is the magnetism of that whole area.
Yeah.
And they found where they built the city was basically made out of what they called lodite or something like
You said
that.
Sigma 4?
Sigma Force.
Hmm.
They actually they built a whole room out of this magnet thing. They walked in there and they felt kind of that, right?
Right.
Kind of thing. Anyway,
they were affected.
I find it incredibly interesting because I've never heard of this before, Hyperborea. And the book goes into great detail of what it is. You're going into the deep catacombs underneath Moscow.
So this
has to do with the Roman Catholic Church, the whole 9 yards.
okay. So this is fiction, and it's based on
Real
present day.
shit.
Present day, though.
Present day, but it's based on real shit. But he makes part of it up at the same time.
Right. He's making he's weaving a story into the myth.
Like they actually discovered that. I don't think it's ever been discovered yet. In the
Right.
book, they find it, right?
Okay.
So, but it's
That's cool.
But it's real. The books. The Golden Library
Great, I don't have to read it.
the Golden Library of Catherine the Great. Is a real thing.
Right.
That Ivan the Terrible buried because he didn't want anyone to find this Hyperborea because of whatever. So
Yeah. No, that's cool.
I don't go into the book, but it's fact because it made me think of him, John, because there's pyramids and these people.
Yeah.
and,
You love all that.
and they talk about
It's because it's real.
and they talk about
It's unknown.
ancient technology that was lost.
Right.
Well, how did they build this? How did they do all this stuff?
Yeah.
We've talked about that before. Just because they don't know how to do a computer doesn't mean these people were dumb and didn't have different kind of tools.
Right.
Did they have White Walkers there?
They
Yeah.
had the wall. They had no, they did not.
Yeah, but I've got Dragon Glass, so I'll take
You're
on those
safe.
White
There you
Walkers.
go.
Which is just what is that? Vulcan glass?
No, that's Vulcan is from Star Wars.
No, it's
volcano.
obsidian. It's obsidian.
I guess so. Obsidian, yeah. It's Dragon Glass. It comes from the volcano where the dragons were.
Yes, it's called Vulcan glass or obsidian.
Which Vulcan glass you talking about? You Vulcan talking to me?
I think
Sorry.
Spock should do that.
Good Lord.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm super interested. I'll take. You check that out from the public library.
Yeah, that's actually the last book he wrote. So that's the last book of the series. There's like 25 in the series you need to read before that one.
Interesting.
And
And
that's-
they're all very interesting.
And the series is called Sigma Force.
No, that's the group he writes about. It's by James Rollins, is the author, and they all have different names. This one's called Archangel.
I do need to write this down. And I need to write down the fact that you do this library thing because it's super smart. And you
Yeah.
can do it at Kindle.
On the Kindle, yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently Amazon is making a TV series out of this book. Or they're trying to. So anyway,
All right. You said it was James Rollins.
James Rollins.
And they
Yeah,
they
right
have they've pulled up a map up there of that region. They've got old maps of Antarctica as well. Of where you have ships and green and trees.
Yep.
On a how long ago was that map made? And we don't know.
Right.
But it was. In fact, where can you find those maps? It's amazing how all that shit just magically disappears. Some collector buys it under market, black market, and
it just kind of goes away.
falls into the ether, and they're like, "Yeah, it's mine now. No one's gonna know." Does somebody know? I mean, is there the cabal that knows all this shit?
That is a very unknown area of the map. So is that a current map that you're showing right there, or is that like an old
That's
one?
Yeah, as far as I know.
the Scandinavian
I don't know.
area.
Okay, can you zoom out? Is there a way to go to? Because I would love to see literally what's. We think of the North Pole as just kind of this nebulous. So that's okay.
Well, that's Finland.
That's
and Russia.
Finland.
That's Scandinavia, which is Finland, Sweden,
Yep.
and Norway.
Yep, and then there's above.
You need to go farther north. That's
North
not
of that.
That's not the Arctic Circle.
Yeah,
yet.
right there. That's moving up from Zemla.
All these islands up there.
Yeah.
Right?
God, that's got to be cold as shit up there.
Yeah, well, it gets colder. Like, is that Greenland right there?
There's
Yeah,
Greenland.
that's Greenland.
Interesting.
Well,
So
where's
it's amazing how high that is up there.
Where's
Where's the North Pole?
I know. I don't see it. Weird. Are they saying it's all gone now? It's all melted. The whole thing's gone.
Well, there isn't I don't think, is there technically a North Pole? I mean,
Yeah.
like a physical feature? I don't think
It's
there
not
is.
Well, there's no land on the,
Yeah, I
the
didn't
South
think
Pole.
there
The South
was.
Pole there is. Antarctica has land, but North Pole does not. It's all
I
ice.
didn't think so.
right there.
There it is in the middle of the water. So, and it's possible based on that aerial
So it's all
photo
ice.
there that some of those illustrations, what do they call that? Topography
Right.
is, that the ocean has elevated enough to where it covered all those land pieces up.
Man,
Well, that's what also was in the book, that at one time this land used to be above water, right? Kind of a thing. That's why no one can find it now.
So that's why the scientists out there, it's argumentative because some of them are saying, all right, well, the water is it's coming back and forth from freezing, and then it rises up out of the water, which allows the ocean to drop in elevation. But there are some scientists that are saying, well, the water's coming from deep in the earth, and so it just recedes back into the earth, and it gets pushed back out for unknown reasons. So that's the reason why some of the elevation is happening of the water, the ocean water. What do they call it? Ocean table?
The
Sea level?
Sea level. Thank you, Mr. Producer.
Ocean table.
It's a struggle in there.
It's very interesting when you look at the North Pole straight on a map. I mean, we never look at it that way. You know what I mean? We always just it's kind of out of sight at the top. But when you rotate the map, looking straight down on it, it's weird looking.
Yeah, it's kind of like looking at a booby,
That's
Guys,
not
it
what came to
undulates.
mind.
Yeah, it's just get a close look at it. You're like, that is such an odd feature.
Like the areola.
Hmm.
Kind of
It's
bumpy.
my fault, Paul. I did that.
You did that. And it also, it kind of ties into why Greenland has been so talked about, because that is so close to the North Pole, and
Well, that's a highly contested area right now because Russia wants it, China wants it, the U.S. wants it.
because it has access. It's got close access to the North Pole.
And-
No, it's because it's a segue to get to the United States.
Well, it's a northern passage
Right.
for boat travel, but also if you're able to find an island and this new island no one's ever found, Russia could go put their plan on it and claim it. Now their boundaries have just got extended
Right.
hundreds of miles out into the ocean now, 'cause
Right.
this is now Russia, right? So
Yep.
that's another thing,
Well, and they're talking about putting missile defense in Greenland,
right?
which is totally protects the entire North America.
I mean, Trump has his way. I mean, we'll be co-partners with both Canada and Greenland,
Right.
and I'm not necessarily against it.
And Denmark.
Well,
Well, Denmark, I want to say owns it, but it's part of Denmark
yeah.
now.
Well, Denmark.
It is.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Which is ridiculous, right? That's
Yeah.
totally just abstract colonialism. Like they should have no claim to Greenland. They should be 100% be independent.
yeah. It's kind of like it's like we go to Denmark and be like, you know what, we're taking Greenland. What are you gonna do about it?
Right.
Bitch.
And we would never do that, but you know what I mean. It's like
well,
a perfect example is like Great Britain still thinking or still owning the Falkland Islands.
which Falkland Islands you talking about?
Right.
Walking around.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's so ridiculous that
Right.
a series of islands off the coast of Argentina that Great Britain should have any claim to that whatsoever.
Well, they just turned over Hong Kong,
Right. Exactly.
what, a decade ago or whenever that was?
Right. I mean, seriously.
And
When
now
did they-
China's be going after Taiwan, which will cause a huge issue with our commerce. Really, if you think about it, Taiwan's one of our major manufacturers of the integrated circuit and all that shit.
I get confused about Taiwan. Go to Taiwan and zoom out of it. It's an island off the coast of China, yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right, there it is. Okay. So I mean, but that's not the same analogy. Taiwan is independently owned. I mean, they are independent, or they want to be independent. It's not like, Portugal owns Taiwan.
Was Taiwan ever a part of China? Just like Ukraine used to be a part of Russia.
I don't know if
I don't
Taiwan emancipated. What say you, producer?
I believe it was the capital at one time of China.
You think Taiwan was the capital?
Yeah.
Officially, the Republic of China is a country in East Asia.
Interesting. It was it couldn't have been the mainland would have had the capital all along, but I don't know. Well, why would I know? But you know what I mean? But there's other islands in like the South Pacific that, are, quote, owned by, different colonial European powers.
Britain was the biggest.
Right.
They owned India.
Right. But they eventually got their independence, right?
Right. Well, yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I think Australia was another one at some point, wasn't it?
Yeah. What's the New Caledonia? That comes to mind. That's an island in the South Pacific. New Caledonia, and I think is it owned by?
I think it's in East Texas.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm wrong.
know.
Never mind. Yeah.
New Caledonia. I don't know that one.
Yeah. I went there when
County.
We vacationed there when I was living in Indonesia. Ew. And it's a French territory. See what I mean? What the fuck? What in this day and age? Why would that be? Why is that a French territory?
Was Puerto Rico?
Well, at least Puerto Rico is like right off the United States.
You're right. I mean, how far is that in?
Oh, it's over the fucking by Australia.
Yeah, so France is it's on the other side of the globe.
Right. I mean, that's just weird to me.
Yeah,
and it's totally colonial.
But
right?
you know what? That's the way it is. I mean, you stick your stake in the ground and you freaking own it. And it's just like, okay, well, you got to respect that. Okay, but they don't respect the United States owning all these properties. They're kind of like, oh, you stole it from the indigenous people. It's like, you stupid motherfuckers. We paid for it.
Right.
We didn't steal it. We bought it. You dumb fucks.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just weird. I mean, that's the way I feel about Denmark. Quote, owning Greenland. It's like, bitch, please.
Yeah, but I mean, how? Well, you know what? We gotta firm up on the history of that.
Well,
so we gotta type that in.
What about the American Samoas?
Oh, no, that's okay.
Oh, that's legal.
Anything that the United States owns is totally fine.
What is that?
Guam is one of them.
Wallis and Fortuna. I've never heard of that one.
Wallace?
Wallis and Fortuna.
Who owns that one? There's probably a ton of people living there.
So Denmark gained control of the Greenland when it was separated.
A French island. Bastards.
So Denmark gained control of Greenland when it separated from Norway in 1814 with the Treaty of Kiel, officially transferring Greenland to the Danish crown, effectively making it Danish territory ever since, although Greenland now has a high degree of self-governance within the Danish realm.
Right.
So it's all...
I wonder if they're taxed and they send money back to Denmark. Just like we were
it's kind of odd because
in the American colonies.
It would seem reasonable. Norway's like way bigger, but I don't. As far as a population wise go, it's kind of like they say in Canada. It's like 90% of the population lives in the bottom 10% of Canada.
Yeah,
because the upper 90% is it's too freaking cold
in the 51st state.
It's tundra.
Interesting.
Yeah. Plus, there's reindeer, and you can't live up there because you're gonna ruin the reindeer migration.
Yeah, true.
That's only in California.
That was a big stink when they were building the
Keystone Pipeline.
Yeah, the pipeline where you're going to hurt the reindeer migration.
They're fucking idiots, man.
I know.
It's just, it's that mentality is what really ticked off Elon Musk. And I got to tell you, him with the Doge program, it cracks me up because I kind of feel like I know where he got this idea. And I think part of it stemmed when he was doing his X-Space ships, and there was a group of people that were giving him shit about the pollution, the noise pollution that the spaceships were creating when they were taking off from the South Texas shores.
It's going to hurt the scuttlefish or something?
It was creating deafness on seals. And so what they did, they tested seals. They got seals, they lined them up, and they put these earbuds, these fucking headsets. And see if you can pull that up. Headphones on seals. See if you get a picture of this motherfucker, because this is real. This is what happened. So they put, there you go, there's a picture of it. They put a headset on these eels and exposed them to high levels, and they were like, this is how loud it is for a ship to go up. Let's see how this affects seals. This is the kind of bullshit that made him want to step into this position where he was kind of like, why are we spending money on this? This is bizarre and absolute bullshit.
It says Elon Musk recently claimed that U.S. regulators made SpaceX kidnap seals twice
Lex Friedman.
Oh,
That's the podcast. Kidnap a seal, strap it to a board, put headphones on the seal, and play sonic boom sounds to
That
it.
sounds mean. Why?
Well, the government forced them to do it.
God.
So I mean, this is. I mean, there's all kinds of. I mean, we can go on and on about the bizarre things that they're doing. You know, jacking up animals with cocaine and making them have sex, and it's just bizarre.
It's stupid.
It's just. I mean, there's no room for that. And why the hell? Like, I'm excited. I don't understand why some of these folks are getting all bent out of shape. You know, even I shared with you that my daughter came to me and was upset that Elon or Doge was shutting down one of her friends who's a park ranger. So he just got fired. And I'm like, well,
she actually knew the person.
What's what she claims? It was a female.
She got fired.
Well, I mean, they laid off a bunch of people, but they you know, I don't know, because anything you pull up on is against Doge.
You
So
go to the website.
Which one?
Doge. They have their own website now.
All right, well, I guess we need to go check on that, because I pulled up the WhiteHouse.gov website and I couldn't find.
Doge.gov. I believe that's it.
You know, because it's just, you know, I think we need to be grounded on what their function is. Now,
right.
Their job is to assess, you know, and they're not slashing things. And Paul, you kind of alluded that they were. I didn't understand that, because from what I understand, they're identifying things, and then they submit these clarifiers to another branch, and they make these decisions on how they're going to move forward.
My understanding is Trump kind of delegated to Elon and his team, his federal regulators, that they have the power to identify who needs to be cut and fire them, and to stop spending, like to freeze spending. So, and that's what's being challenged in court, right? There's different judges that have, put in an injunction to stop them, and that's what the Democrats have been saying. Oh, Elon, a private citizen, he's not, how is he allowed to do this, and blah, 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 blah. And then there's one judge that said, yeah, they have the power to hire and fire. I mean.
So what is this? So stop at one of these and click on one of those big ones. There was one for $70 million that was down at the bottom.
What do you got here?
We'll just pick the 28 million one.
All right, so we're on the Doge website.
DFS Construction, $28 million.
Oh man, they are calling it out.
$100 million.
For what? Salient Federal SGTS Inc.
Digital request for strategic, I can't even read that, programs follow on, I can't read it.
Initial requisition or request for strategic programs follow-on award, which provides the consolidated services of PhD, PCM,
PMO, PQM,
engineering, and major systems PMDS. Oh, God, I don't know. I don't know what that is. But $100 million? Wow, that's a score.
There's one for $655 million up there.
Jesus.
All right, so these are all just, we don't know what these things are. They could be legitimate. They may not be.
They could be.
But but at the end of the day, we want to know what they are. Why is it a big deal that we ask for them to be transparent?
Right.
And I'll tell you, one of the biggest things is, why don't we have a say on how much money gets to go to places like Ukraine?
Right.
Why do we send them, $500 billion? Why is that okay? And then why is it okay that along the way, half of it disappears? Why is that okay? Why isn't there a paper trail of where that money went? And, and if it's legitimate, then why don't they just tell us where it went?
Right.
But they don't have answers.
The thing is, as they start digging into this shit, we're starting to see, there's wasteful spending, right? Where people are like, you know what? They gave us $100 million. If we don't spend it all, they're not going to give us $100 million next year.
Right.
So they got to spend it. They got to find a way to spend it. Oh, well, let's go, fund condoms for the Taliban, and let's go do this and do the crazy shit, right?
Right.
But some of this stuff is full-on fraud, like the Social Security shit that Elon's talking about.
The whole Social Security thing, that came out, I don't know if it was today or yesterday.
This is crazy.
That there's 395 million checks that go out for Social Security.
Hang on.
which is more than our population in the United States.
He's not saying checks.
What is it?
That's how many Social Security numbers there are. So you're not
Active.
yes,
active.
active numbers.
Oh, active.
Doesn't
Right.
mean they're getting a check.
That doesn't mean they're getting a check.
So there's 394 million Social Security numbers, and there's only 333 million people living in the United States.
Right. And these numbers, they say these are the numbers that are listed as not dead.
Right. The number of
The death field is set to false.
meaning, so we don't know for sure if they're getting a check.
It's a reserved number for theoretically somebody, but they're
Okay,
not
that-
necessarily getting a check.
Well, that makes
We
sense.
don't know.
That makes sense for the 0 to 9 now.
Yeah.
But it does not make sense when you have all the millions of people over 100 years old.
Or, 120 plus,
Yeah,
right?
There are far more eligible Social Security numbers than there are citizens of the United States.
So is part of that because they
Damn.
haven't cleared the ones that are older or dead? I mean,
it's
it would-
possible, but there's some. I mean, it could be key in error.
I mean,
you
clearly,
know,
right?
But 20 million key in errors?
Right here, so there's 1.3 million people that are between the ages of 150 and 159, right?
Right.
So, I mean, just dig into that. And,
Well, there's 4 million,
right. Well-
130 to 139.
right. No, I know.
that-
I know.
that-
These are all fraudulent, or
Well-
these are all non-closed.
Yes, they're non-closed, is what it's saying. And basically, since they started it in 1935, you know, there are old people on the rolls in 1935, right?
Right.
So you could have a Social Security number in 1935
It's still active.
yes, that's still active. That's 100 years from 90
Now-
years ago.
Now, are they still getting checks?
That's the
we don't know.
question.
We don't know.
That's the rub. We don't know. But they're
But-
not dead.
But
right?
someone
not inactive.
someone could be using that for illegal voting,
Easily.
to open up credit cards,
Sure.
for identity theft, all that
well,
shit.
that's what they're doing in California. You know, that's why they're passing out these driver's licenses. When they get up there, they're illegal aliens. They come up and they now have an opportunity to go get a driver's license. And once they get a driver's license, it opens Pandora's box for them to start soliciting other services, Social Security services,
Yeah,
voter
absolutely.
registrations.
And they're doing it deliberately, of course, because they're trying to expand their voter rolls.
But it's funny
Crazy.
that there's two of them that's older than 300 years.
Yeah, so the joke that you sent today was like, okay, there's a section. If you're 0 to 109, it's normal humans. If it's 110 to 229, you're Biden voters. And then if you're 240 to 369, you're Highlanders.
Yes. There can be only one.
and what's funny is there's only one. There's only one that's 240 to 249, and one that's 380 to 369. So
there
that's
can only be one.
that's when I was like, I thought there could only be one, and you were like, well, the quickening hasn't completed. It was great. I was like, well, they must be in the championship round because there's only 2 left. Oh God, that's funny. I love
It is
that
odd.
movie.
I'm glad we clarified it a little bit. So I am still curious how many checks
Yeah.
are going out.
Yes.
So that it's still terrible, but it's
Terrible.
better than how I understood it to be.
It's not quite as fraudulent. Well, I mean, Elon Musk was like, "This, we're uncovering the biggest fraud in history."
Yep.
So, I mean, he obviously believes that this is, very
Well,
significant.
There are folks out there that are saying, well, Elon Musk is just trying to steal everyone's Social Security number so that he can gain access to their things. And
That's so dumb.
he comes back and says, if I wanted their Social Security number, I would have taken it when I owned PayPal.
right.
Yeah.
Boom. Dropped it.
It's so
Spike drop.
it's so dumb. I mean, he is in it for the right reasons, just like all the other people that Trump has appointed to the cabinets. They're there for the right reasons, which is people want the government to get cleaned up. It's bloated.
In 2011,
It's corrupt.
there's a video of Obama who's trying to make the same proclamation.
Right.
He comes out, says the same exact thing.
Oh, they all say the
So
same.
Clinton and Gore did the same thing.
They
you know,
all say
and
the
it's
same
just
thing.
like, when Trump says it, it's a negative thing. But when they say it, everyone's like,
Right.
oh, God, Obama
Yeah.
speaks so eloquently. I got to
Right.
tell you, for being a piece of shit, he sure does
he
speak
was
well.
an amazing orator.
Yeah.
Orator.
I heard on the day that Elon Musk had his 13th child by his 4th woman.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Hold on. He's got 4 women
4
with
women,
13
13 kids.
I wonder if he's like Mormon.
I just don't think he cares.
Yeah. So yeah, he clearly gets around, but this latest one is a conservative podcast. It's conservative influencer.
Well, it's also under question if it's really his.
Yes. Okay. Here we go. Ashley St. Clair. So yeah, he fathered a child with her, and
All right.
yeah,
I'd father.
I can see why.
I'd smell that.
Wow. I can see why. But yeah, she tried to keep it quiet. She didn't want this to be tabloid fodder. And so she was desperately trying to get a hold of him, because they need to figure out what they're going to do about the parenting of, this scenario. And there you go.
So, is he currently married? Elon?
He was.
I don't think so.
He was, I believe.
And all of his kids have crazy names.
I understood that he owns like bunkers, like just these.
I would if I had that much money.
Shit, yeah.
But, like for safety?
That they currently live in. Like his families, they'll be tucked away because you got to imagine they got to be targeted for kidnapping.
Sure.
They can't live in a normal house. They would have to live somewhere.
You can't live in Frisco?
Can't live in Frisco.
They could, but he would have to. It'd have to be living in a fortified
on Brinkman Ranch.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
They live in Austin. Some of them.
Yeah,
they can live anywhere they want.
Married.
You could build anything anywhere.
That's why he has that company that does tunnels, so he can do a whole underground lair.
It's called the Boring Company.
Yeah, the Boring Company.
It's hilarious.
He's been doing a lot of boring.
Such a clever name, man.
I think it's great. If you had the money, hell yeah, I would have. I'd have everything down there.
He started his own company to make tunnels.
Yeah,
crying out loud.
No, the guy's a brilliant entrepreneur. There's no question about it.
I'm just kind of curious where they're going to take this. It's just.
It's going to be
what the courts are going to say. How are they going to let this pass? Their courts every step of the way. They're trying to every step of the way. And while they're doing that, it almost seems, and I'm going to use the word obfuscate, but it almost seems like they're purposely distracting these courts with things like this to stop Elon so that they can actually address other things. So that Trump they're out there doing 100 different things. And they don't even see it yet. The chess game is on a multi-dimensional game platform, and they're on square one.
Who's they? Fill in the blank.
Is the Democrats. I'm talking about
the
people fighting
Democrats
Trump's,
are getting played. You're saying?
Yeah. Oh, totally. They're they're focusing on Elon, and Trump and Elon are laughing at him. Okay, well, you can hold us up. But Trump's ultimately the one that's going to make these decisions, and you could delay this all you want. But by the way, we've got 100 other things that are going on right now, and you're wasting all your attention here. So fuck off.
Dude, the Democrats don't know what to do. First off, they don't want to be owned like they're being owned. And Trump's approval rating is like 70%.
No, it's 60s.
In the 60s?
Yeah.
Okay. But they were saying, they were breaking it down by, do you approve of this? Do you approve of that?
Yeah, they were about 60, 63%.
Just, it's overall, though.
Well, I saw the thing. They had different issues, right?
Okay. Yeah. And I thought the going after government inefficiency, I thought was pushing 70%. But
I didn't see that one. Potentially, yeah.
But anyway, they're getting owned. The Democrats don't know what to do right now, right? But whatever they're doing, it comes across as they're scared that what's going to come out is going to expose them.
I hope so.
It's funny. It sure looks like it.
Sheryl Crow. Made a statement today or yesterday regarding her Tesla. She donated it, or sold it and donated the money to NPR.
But you see when she actually did that, she posted it in February or something like that.
Yeah,
she took the video, and it was clearly fall and autumn.
Oh, dude.
Because
so she's
the
a
leaves
fraud.
are on the tree; they're all orange and red. So when she took the video, it was probably in the fall sometime. But she just posted it saying, I just gave it, or whatever she did with her Tesla.
Yeah, that doesn't look like February.
Yeah, and she lives in Tennessee. So it's like 2 degrees there right now.
What a ding dong.
So
that's total,
and hats off
BS.
to her for making a statement, doing what she wants. That's what being in this great America is all about.
Right.
But it's all for the wrong reasons. The fact that she's giving it to NPR is even better. Less money the government has to pay to keep that bullshit thing floating.
She wanted you to wipe your ass with one square. She was on that push for a while.
1 square. Well, that's
Two-
what you
two-
use
one-
up a day, right?
No, 1 square of toilet paper is what she says you should be allotted per toilet.
You mean you can't spare a square?
God.
No. 1
that
square.
wouldn't go very far.
No, you'd break through it.
Yeah.
It's a quadruple ply, though.
No, you'd be folding it into like a little cube.
Maybe the square is the size of a newspaper.
1 square of toilet
So
paper.
she's got pretty skanky butthole.
She's got something going on down
I mean, it's got to be not clean.
Look at that. She's like, ow, it's chafed.
Yeah, but if it makes her happy.
If it makes you happy.
Because my butt is chafed.
But that sucks,
My
though,
butt
because
is shaved.
I like Sheryl Crow. I think she's a talented musician. I think she
Yeah.
writes her own shit. I mean, what?
1 sheet of visit.
Oh, God.
What? Maybe she's talking about pee-pee.
Oh, hold on. 2 or 3 squares on pesky occasions. So I think
Is that like the when it's like a Sharpie down there, it just won't go away?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that we have consistent pesky occasions when we
Yes.
yeah, so we could probably average 2 or 3 squares.
I would need like toilet paper like on a belt sander, so it's like, you know. I don't know, man. It's kind of weird. I'm on board with trying to get one of those little retrofit bidets.
You know, it's unfortunate that she got herself in the news for a really stupid reason. It doesn't help her.
The article is 17 years old, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, it was a while back.
No, I
But
mean,
what do you think that?
Maybe she didn't poop as much.
I'm
back
talking about the
then.
donating the Tesla.
What do you think that tour smelled like? If she's only limiting all her tour people to 1
Oh
square.
no, she's saying everybody else should do 1 square.
Warning
She's
shot
She's
to
probably.
limit.
Well, she's got a bidet, and she's using the 1 square to just, you know.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
to
So
dry
she
the
dries
damp-
off. It
yeah,
just
the
pampers
damp-
up. It's a pop, pop, pop.
yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know about the tongue action. All right.
And she was cute too. I mean, she dated several people. She dated the one bald dude, right? The European Francis Tour de
Who?
the
Ooh.
the cyclist.
Oh, Lance Armstrong.
Lance
Oh.
Armstrong, the
Yeah, the-
Tour de France.
The cheater.
Yeah. Did
Yep.
he cheat though?
He did.
He did.
I mean, did he cheat though?
He
Yes.
did.
He
But-
broke the rules. That's cheating.
Yeah,
I
but I mean,
The answer is still going to be the same, no matter how many times you
okay,
ask.
Okay. Yeah. He broke the rules, but I mean, look,
He was doing blood transfusions in
Didn't
the middle
everyone?
of the race.
I'm just like, does it really matter?
He was doing blood transfusions
How
in
much-
the middle of the race.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
That's how he did his mountain stages, like a beast.
So what do you have? Like his freaking blood pack on him?
No, but when they went back to the, because they take breaks, right? They don't go
In
through
between stages.
and they sleep.
He
right?
had a blood boy that followed him on a bike.
No, I mean seriously. Like when the race paused.
I've never heard this.
When the race
yeah.
when the race paused, he went back to his trailer or whatever, and he did transfusions.
This is true.
Okay, that's 100% cheating.
That's cheating.
Yes.
100%.
I thought it was like some drug enhancement kind
Just
of
well,
thing.
Yeah,
that
okay.
too.
Like some sort of special supplement.
It was.
I thought that's what it was. I'm like, yeah, come on.
No,
Right.
It was that as well. Plus blood transfusions. Plus I think a couple other things.
He was destroying everybody on the mountain stages.
So
and
he's
they
been
just,
using
and they just
performance
couldn't.
for
in all
drugs
the
for
other
13 years until a confession during a broadcast interview with Oprah Winfrey in 13 when he finally admitted he was cheating in sports. I view the situation as one big lie. Well, maybe that's
Yeah.
why he lost a ball.
Well, he had testicular
Yeah,
cancer.
he sure did.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe he lost a ball because of all that extracurricular stuff.
That was prior.
So he did that afterwards.
You know what? Just I will say this. Yes, he had testicular cancer. He worked his ass off. Despite the cheating that he did, it was still amazing what he accomplished. Now, I'm not saying that other cyclists, if they hadn't done the same thing, let me put it this way. There might have been a shit ton of cyclists that did the same thing he did, but they didn't put in the work to actually get through the you still have to go through the mountain stages. You know what I mean?
Oh, he still had to go do it, but he was cheating. Come on.
I totally get it. But what I'm saying is
It was easier for him because he was cheating
right.
to the level he was.
Yeah, he was an elite athlete, and the only way he could have consistently won 7 years in a row or
For
something.
example, if I got a blood transfusion, I would not be able to do the
Right.
mountain stage.
Yes, yes. But any of the other elite riders, if they
downhill
had they
part.
done that, they could have been performing like he was.
Right.
You could do the downhill part.
Yeah, the downhill.
Slalom.
Then I get wheel wobble.
Go real fast.
Shit.
Yeah. Because they're going fast, 65, 70 miles an hour. down
Oh,
those damn
yeah.
things.
And here's my point. It's unfortunate that how hard he worked as an athlete. He trained like crazy. He worked hard. He was an elite athlete.
And it wasn't enough for him.
And he threw it all away. He threw away all that hard work. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All got discredited as soon as that happened.
Yep. We need to talk about this bourbon.
We
Won't
do.
be a next time.
This is our last one. Anyway, we got to talk about this bourbon.
There's always going to be a day in history.
It's like February 18th.
We'll get it next year.
Next year. If you're really passionate about this day, it'll be here next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll save it. Thank
That's
you, Jeff.
just file it away.
You've
Yeah.
inspired me.
All right, let's talk about this. This is good.
Yeah, so this is one that we stumbled upon, and we're very, 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 very lucky to get this. This is the Jack Daniel's Coy Hill.
This is the one that Stan texted us and was like, "Hey,
Anybody close?
I need to."
You got 3 minutes.
And it wasn't about us. It was about he wanted it, and he was kind of like, "I suppose if you buy mine, you can get one too." So
It's like, gee, thanks.
I was like, on my way. And I had no idea the value of this either.
And this is a unicorn.
Oh, yeah, this is a unicorn.
Not rare, unicorn.
So this is the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Special Reserve Tennessee Whiskey, otherwise known as the Coy Hill. Is that
Coy
what it's
Hill,
called?
which
'Cause
is
I
the
don't see that up
highest.
there.
Yes, it's on the little orange label or red or whatever the color is. So this is which is the highest elevated rolling hill on the Jack Daniel distillery property. So
there's something special about that wreck house.
I guess it's
It's the opens an underlying vein of classic Jack Daniel's aroma.
vain.
What's
And-
interesting is it showcases a barrel house location along with the quote extreme weather. There's no extreme weather. Well, I guess there can be in Tennessee. This is Tennessee,
yeah,
right?
It can be. Yeah, there's deaths going on right now. in
That's
Tennessee.
true with the flooding.
Yeah,
But-
but this is a typically high proof bottle. Either last year's or the one before. You can see it's as high as 148. This year's the version we have is not.
It's 123.
Yeah, 123. It
Really?
is.
I thought it was 28.
Uh
I'm looking at the bottle.
oh, he's got the bottle.
Yeah, but you're
It-
blind.
It's straight from the barrel, minimal filtration, uncut, one of a kind, single barrel. Should remain up. Oh, listen. Should remain upright at all times unless you are pouring it into a glass to enjoy. What?
Oh yeah, this is.
Yeah, you don't want to waste it. You want to slipping out by accident.
Should remain upright.
I can't read that.
Jeff, it's
Here,
tilting
let me
it's
give
not
it.
upright.
Let me try.
Paul, he's tilting it. You're supposed to
Yeah,
upright. unless
it's
you're
got to be
pouring it.
upright. You're not paying
Oh, I'm
attention
not
to.
pouring anymore.
Well, it says a little special statement about like which floor of which
Yeah, I
rickhouse
can't
that it
read
gets
that.
from.
Beautiful.
I was trying to read it.
Oh,
and then
sorry.
it's Rickhouse 8, and it's like the middle floor of Rickhouse 8.
All right, it is 123 proof, 61.5. You don't have any.
We're
light
freaking
on.
old.
You need a light on. it.
We got the magnifying glass out on the camera.
Can you put the light on it? Oh, you didn't put the light on it.
Anyway, this is a unique. This doesn't taste to me anyway. The standard Jack Daniel's. It's got some of that in there, and but there's a unique flavor underneath that I'm trying to pick out.
So
All right, it's Barrel House 8.
The aroma AI overview says the aroma is rich and inviting. Notes of toasted oak, caramel, dark chocolate, cinnamon, and baked apple.
Sounds familiar.
That's the aroma. Hints of clove, allspice, and dried bay.
Well, I'm picking up
what
a
is
lot
dried
of
bay.
bay leaves, maybe.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah.
I'm picking up a lot of like that crispy spice, the cloves and shit like that.
Mhm.
I am picking up some of that.
Yeah, there's something on the nose and the taste that I haven't quite identified, but it's
Cloves may be it.
great.
Maybe a
Hi-
good thing.
High toned of floral notes like wild daisies or sassafras leaves.
Yeah, you just came up with that, I'm sure. Maybe a little grape in there. Maybe a little bit for me.
I still can't. I can't pin it.
I think the floral is hitting there.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
I don't get any floral.
Well, the palate full-bodied and intense flavors of charred oak, molasses, dark spices. The palate also balanced of hints of dried fruit and a touch of vanilla, layers of caramel and candied fruit, deeper notes of toffee, molasses, and charred oak. Finish, long and warming, lingering notes of smoky spice and subtle sweetness. Balanced yet intense, leaving lingering impressions of dark brown sugar and smoky. Overall, Jack Daniel's the Coy Hill is a full-flavored, high-proof, spectacular.
It is spectacular.
It's really,
I can't believe we still have this.
It's really, really unique. It's very
I'll go
unlike.
first. I'm going to rate it 9. Sorry, go on.
No, you're fine. It's very interesting that we run across something that is so different than other things we've tried.
Yeah, I think I'm going 8 on this. No, I'll go at 9 with you, Sean. It's outstanding.
Yeah, it really is. We're going to have to rethink some of these whiskeys out there. I say we whip out the Pinhook again.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, I want to really run that one through the gauntlet again. This is so good.
It is. It's tasty.
You know, I can't not do a 9. I mean, I was going to go with an 8.5 or an 8.8, but I mean, there's really no point. I mean, because it's so unique.
The bad thing I'm having right now is I don't want to rush this. And I know Jeff has to go to bed. So I'm thinking I'm going to take a roadie.
But not of this bottle.
No, I might take this.
Oh.
Yeah,
Finish it at the house.
You got quite a bit left. Well,
Yeah,
anyway,
I've been slow rolling this
if
too.
you have a chance to get this is about $500 aftermarket, secondary. I think we got it for 90. So
Yeah.
we got lucky.
We did.
If you can find it at $90, buy it. Get it.
Magic words: Coy Hill, COY Hill, Coy Hill, orange
Coy
bottle, Jack Daniels, terrific.
It's outstanding.
Well, we posted on the Dudes Like Us Instagram page, and it should populate on the Dudes Like Us podcast Facebook page. Hit that subscribe button. Shout it out to us, Mr. Producer. Thank you for being on top of shit today. You guys good with anything?
I'm set.
Yeah, good.
Looking forward to this weekend.
Yeah,
Yes.
it should be a fun one.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it too.
Interesting. So Heather's birthday's coming up. Hopefully we're going to check that out. Say hello to that. Dudes Like Us. I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
And I am Jeff.